Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this beautiful BMW Z4. It's a 2020 Z4 M40i. The M40i is a new version of the Z4 for 2020. They have the M30i version, which we became familiar with, a redesigned Z4. The M30i has a turbocharged four-cylinder engine of about 255 horsepower. The M40i has a legendary turbocharged inline 6, pumping out 382 horsepower. Quite a big power bump. 0 to 60 under 4 seconds. I think Car and Driver got to do 0 to 60 at 3.8 seconds. Amazing performance, a lot of power for a vehicle that's quite small. This one's a one-owner clean Carfax vehicle. We do have a complimentary Carfax report. It's also a local vehicle from Washington. Only transmission available on the Z4 is an 8-speed automatic transmission, one of the best in the business. You can have it act like a regular automatic transmission, or you can put it in manual shift mode. We have the original build sheet on this one. And the other cool thing about this car, might I add, in the world of high gas prices, with something with 382 horsepower, that's a lot of power, but it's actually pretty fuel efficient. Look at 31 miles per gallon on the highway, 24 city. The 8-speed automatic transmission definitely helps it be a little bit more efficient, and this thing doesn't weigh much. It probably has a pretty low drag coefficient as well. So we have some features on this one. The upgraded 19-inch wheels was a $600 option. This beautiful shade of Masano Blue Metallic was a $550 premium color. The black leather seat upholstery, $1,700. Leatherette is standard. Leather is optional. Driving assistance package, $500. Premium package, $1,400. Remote engine start, $300. Ambient lighting, $250, and we also have park distance control, wireless charging, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. Original MSRP was close to $70,000. So obviously we have a beautiful leather interior, as we mentioned, power and heated seats, navigation system, rear parking camera, front and rear parking sensors, beautiful interior. There is your wireless charger right there for your smartphone. Nice leather up steering wheel, feels wonderful in your hands. I love the contour. There's the button for the heated seats. And it's also nice how they have a leather and stitched horn pad as well. Cool gauge cluster. The navigation screen is right in the middle, and it kind of has analog gauges to the left and the right. One beautiful automobile indeed. And the cool thing about the Z4, it actually has a new cousin. If you look over here, we have a 2020 Toyota Supra. When Toyota decided to reintroduce its Supra, it didn't really have much in the parts bin of high performance cars like it did back in the day when it had the 2JZ engine. So they turned to BMW, and the new Supra is actually largely based off the BMW Z4 platform. Pretty cool stuff. But in 2020, BMW actually gives you a little bit extra horsepower. The Supra has 330 horsepower. They did up the horsepower to 382 on the Supra in 2021, but in 2020 the Z4 had the full 382 horsepower from the inline 6. For those of you who are maybe curious about the differences, after I'm done with this video, I'm going to do a little bit more of a comprehensive video on the differences between the Z4 and the Supra, since they are cousins. I think a lot of people might be curious how similar they are and how different they are. There's that beautiful, amazing inline 6. I love this shade of blue. Inline 6s are really cool engines. Unfortunately, BMW is one of the only car companies that makes inline 6s these days. They've been making them for decades and decades. They've perfected them. I'm a career car guy. I drive a lot of cars, and we have a lot of BMWs with these inline 6s. Over there we have an X3 M40i Sport with that inline 6. BMW puts it in all sorts of their vehicles. It is such an amazing engine. It's smooth, it sounds amazing, lots of low end grunt. It's one of the best inline 6s or 6-cylinder engines, period. A lot of people use V6s, but when Toyota went back to the Supra, you know, the legendary Supra from the 90s had an inline 6 to 2JZ, and Toyota thought it only appropriate to have an inline 6 to the new one, so that's partly why they turned to BMW to, you know, I guess borrow some of their, to their parts bin or their car and kind of remake it as a Toyota, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's talk more about the Z4 for those who are more interested in this one. Beautiful BMW LED lights. And the other thing I like about this Z4 is it has a cloth convertible top, which some people might seem as a detraction, but I can tell you, when you have retractable hardtops, which there are benefits to. The one detraction about retractable hardtops is when you put the top down, you pretty much lose all your trunk space because the top is stored in the trunk. And sometimes they give you like a teeny bit of trunk space. And obviously you don't have a lot of trunk space to begin with, but if you and your significant other want to go for a nice weekend getaway, that doesn't leave much room for luggage, does it? If you want to enjoy some topless driving. You know, when you go on a road trip in a beautiful car like this, it would be terrible to have to do it with the top up because you need room for luggage, but not the case with this one. And look at, springtime's coming. We all know this is one of the best places to be in the summertime. Months of beautiful blue skies. What better way to enjoy it in a beautiful drop-top convertible like this? Now let's put the top down. Top goes down fairly easy. It's a one-touch system. It takes about, I'd say about maybe 5-10 seconds for the top to go down. And we all know convertibles look their best with the top down. No exception for this beautiful Z4. And I guess that's another difference between the Supra and the Z4. You can only get the Supra in a hardtop, and right now you can only get the Z4 in a convertible. Stunning vehicle indeed. We have complimentary shipping to Washington and Oregon. We put this in our car hauler, we can tow it to you, we can print up all the paperwork with our mobile delivery service. This beautiful little Z4 or Supra can be all yours without leaving your neighborhood. Kind of like buying a vehicle from Vroom or Carvana, but we're a small business. We can work a little bit better with you and do all sorts of you know, things that people normally can't do in a more rigid, larger company like some of those Fortune 500s. Thanks so much for taking the time today to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon and have a wonderful day.